We wanted to give students an opportunity to celebrate each other and for us to sort of congratulate students on the work that they had done over the course of the year. We also wanted to involve students to whatever extent we could in the planning and the execution of the event. We haven't been able to do that so much this year because we're really still trying to get back on track post-pandemic. We really haven't been able to do it the past couple of years, so we're trying to kind of bring it back into the normal state of affairs for the students in the department so that they know what to expect and they can look forward to it. So we really want to have a good event this year so that people who have been kind of removed from things like that over the past couple of years can have an opportunity to get together with their fellow producers and celebrate some work. The first couple of years we did it on campus, and then when Alamo came to town, we started working on cultivating a relationship with them, and I think we've done the last 3 of them at Alamo, which we think is pretty cool. It gives students an opportunity to not just see each other's work, but see it on the big screen with good sound and picture, and we feel like it gives students something to work toward in terms of return on their investment. Plus, we do a free drink and popcorn for everybody, so it's kind of an opportunity to get everybody together in a space that is relevant for the industry we're in, and hopefully have a good time, celebrate some work, and do it in a room that is really technologically made for that kind of celebration of sound and image. The piece has to have involvement from at least one student who's majoring or minoring in either journalism or CMI. So a student in another major who shot a short film, by themselves, just on the side with no involvement from anybody in our program, that wouldn't be eligible, because we really do want it to be centric to what we do here in the department. In terms of content, certainly, there are some things that we would probably not want to put on the screen. We haven't really had to make those kind of decisions yet because nobody's really pressed the point on content. But we've had some profanity and some certainly some mature themes in some of the films that we've included in JCMI Fest, and I don't think that we're afraid of that or are reticent to celebrate work that might challenge us in some way. I think that's why we're here. We hope that students will challenge us with their work in some way, whether that's in terms of theme or content or image or whatever. So, there's always limitations, but for the most part, we're interested in seeing what students can come up with and celebrating good work, regardless, of its particular form or content. I would like JCMI Fest to grow in terms of size and impact and presence, but also in terms of the quality of the experience. I want it to be something that every student in the program knows about and looks forward to and thinks about as they are in the act of producing stuff. I want them to be thinking explicitly as they're shooting something, if I do this right, I can get this into JCMI Fest, and there's advantages to that, and it might just be the fun of your peers seeing and celebrating what you do. It might be either oriented toward festival placement or prizes or whatever, but whatever the reason, that's my hope, is that students see this as kind of a culmination of the year, an opportunity to get together with their fellow producers, students, faculty, mentors, and celebrate their craft. And so that's the hope, and I think we will. We were really kind of on our way there when the pandemic hit, and we kind of had to pull back from doing in-person events for a couple of years. So we need to just kind of get that momentum back, get people thinking of JCMI Fest as a normal kind of exclamation point at the end of the academic year and orienting their work towards it. I would say that students at any level in either of our degree programs, just starting out kind of intermediate, maybe like kind of in the middle or at the top end of the curriculum, should really feel empowered to submit, because the worst case scenario is that you're going to get some feedback, and feedback is just such an important thing in our industry. And it's rarer than you think, particularly when you get out of college, for somebody to actually say to you, "Hey, can we sit down for a second and let me show you, what you could do better here." We do it a lot here because that's what we're paid to do, right? But out in the world, people are too busy. They're just going to say no or yeah, And so I think it's good to submit, regardless of what you think your chances are, because if you can get some of that feedback, if you can frankly get through the experience of having something rejected and bounce back from that and make it better, that's a skill. That's a skill that will serve you well in this industry, and it's not one that you can really sort of teach explicitly. You sort of just have to have that experience, say, okay, I'm going to get back to work and I'm going to make it better. And I hope that this is a way, relatively low stakes way, that we can sort of inculcate that resilience, that creative resilience in folks. So I'd say, submit early and often, and especially if you start your first year, second year, by the time you're a junior, senior, you're going to have stuff in it. You're just going to get better as a result of going through this process, but also, doing similar things perhaps with courses, or through something like TCMA or internships. All of those are opportunities to get that feedback that becomes so rare when you're actually out there in the marketplace.